Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Last time we saved Tonan's life and Hal's life, and so now pretty much everyone is alive. Although I do plan to let our father die, because we have never had him die when Mom is alive. Which sounds kind of cruel, but you know, we gotta see all that juicy content. This year we're going to continue working with Tammy and Cal and Deese and try and get them to be our big friends. And also do a lot of stuff in the creche while also trying to keep up with classes so Mom doesn't yell at us again. So to start with, let's do some babysitting. You and Tammy are taking the kids out for a field trip to the garden so they can see where their food comes from. Cal will meet you there to act as a tour guide. Everything is going fine until a fight breaks out between two of the children. Someone took something from someone else, or perhaps they just wanted it, and there was maybe a push that was actually an accidental bump, but could have been a punch, and the whole group splits into incomprehensible warring factions. You're not sure. It's a bit chaotic. There's a lot of yelling. Kids, no! Tammy exclaims, looking overwhelmed. Stop fighting! Oh no! Oh, please don't hit each other! Don't worry, I have a first aid kit. Does anyone need first aid? In the confusion, a rogue group of kids breaks away and disappears into the corn. Another group is throwing rocks. Tammy looks like she's about to cry. Cal waves his hand with an easy smile. Don't worry about it, he says. It's just some dirt and rocks. And don't worry about the runaways. They aren't going anywhere. There's fences around this whole place. He picks up the two fighters around the stomach and holds one under each arm while they flail and kick. Hey, you two, we use our words in this colony. You gotta talk it out before you start hitting each other. Tammy wrings her hands. But Cal, she wails, it's dangerous. They could get through the gate, or they could get lost and scared. They could fall down and hurt themselves on farm equipment. She wrestles away a handful of rocks just before they go into someone's mouth. No, we don't eat dirt. Yucky, dirty, it'll make you sick. Nothing's in that dirt that I haven't eaten myself, Cal laughs, swinging the kids under his arm so they scream in delight instead of anger. It's okay, Tammy. You'll tear yourself into itty-bitty pieces if you keep worrying. He sets his children down. They wander off in different directions. You gotta let kids make some mistakes, I think, he says. You learn more from your mistakes than you do your successes, right? And if you're always fixing their mistakes, they're gonna grow up all anxious if they're not perfect all the time. I'm with Cal on this run, but if it lowers Tammy's confidence, I don't want to do that. Tammy's right, we should be more careful. Yeah, Tammy says, blinking away frustrated tears. It's not like growing up on the ship. It's actually really dangerous out here. It's my job to keep them safe. Cal softens. I'm sorry, Tammy, he says. I didn't know you were serious about this. He gives her a hug. You care so much. That's what makes you a great babysitter. Like, yeah, I agree that kids should have the freedom to make their own mistakes and stuff, but Tammy is also the one in charge of them, and we're exploring a farm where in Cal's ending we're told that our children almost got mauled by farm equipment at some point. So yeah, maybe we should, they can explore if they want, but we should keep an eye on them. They're still little kids. Oh no, nightmares. Ooh, we'll take the flower. Because this gives us 10 friendship with someone. Ah, perfect. Your dad joins you again. It's time to start thinking about how you're going to contribute to the colony when you're older. At the look on your face, he laughs. Don't worry, we're not going to make you get a job right now. We're just asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? A parent with like 10 kids. You can't help but babble. Auntie Cenan has 5 kids, but you think 10 is a better number. You've already chosen names for all of them. The oldest will be Quincence, then Palinist, Pally for short, then Turquoise, then Salvia, and then Sequester if it's a boy. Your mom's eyebrows shoot up to her hairline. Really? She stammers. You don't want to be a scientist or an explorer or anything? Wow, very supportive, Mom. Your dad pats her shoulder. Now, Flulu, he says. That's a very Earth attitude. Called out. You're right, your mom replies, then turns back to you. Having children is a very important job for a fledgling colony like ours. People who want to have children should have as many as they want. That's how we'll know we're strong. Well, your mom gets up. I'm sure your friends all want to wish you a happy birthday. Yeah. Listen, I can have a job and still be a parent. I don't have to be stuck to one thing, Mom. Tammy! Tammy beams when she sees you like there's nothing better in the world than the sight of your face. Happy birthday, Yabby! She exclaims. She comes in for a huge hug. She smells so nice, like vanilla and flowers, and she's really good at hugs. This is for you, Tammy says. Oh, you're so sweet. She steps back and reaches into one of the many deep pockets of her dress, producing a little paper box. I made you this, she laughs, revealing it to reveal a little snack-sized cake. It's only a soy cake, but it's a soy cake made just for you. You take a bite. Okay, it tastes like a regular soy cake too. Tammy did what she could with what the colony has. Tammy watches you eat your cake with a look of delighted satisfaction. You can share it if you want, she hints, smiling sweetly. If that would make you happy, it would. Tammy laughs. I was just kidding. I made my own, silly Billy, she says, pulling out a second box. Let's eat them together. Oh, she thinks of everything. I'm gonna give her the flower. Or should I give that to Cal? I should probably give it to Deese. No, I'll give it to Cal. But I will give you back your cake. I always give her back her own cake. The garden looks deserted, which is strange. Cal's usually here taking care of the animals or playing in the dirt or fetching things for adults. You spot a pair of dirt-streaked legs dangling over a piece of equipment and clamber up beside Cal on the sun-warmed metal. Cal's distracted by something in his hands, but he looks up at you as you sit down. Oh, hey, Yabby, he greets you. I didn't hear you, buddy. Sorry. Look what Tammy gave me, he says, holding out a weirdly shaped doll with green, stringy hair and lopsided eyes. She's the best, he says proudly. It's so cool that she can make stuff from what other people think is just garbo junk. He lies back against the machine and raises the doll to the sky, letting it block the sunlight from his face. Tammy's my best friend, he continues. I know we all grew up together, but Tammy's really special, you know? Yeah, she really is. Cal looks pleased. I'm glad you think so. We used to play together all the time on the stratospheric. All the time. Man, I remember one time. Cal squints into the sun and rubs his chin. Sorry, before you got here, I was just thinking about how, when we were 4 years old, I promised her that we would get married when we were old enough. Anemone teases me about it. She thinks it doesn't count because we were just kids, but I keep thinking about it, you know? He looks down at the doll in his hands. It's truly ugly, but maybe that's part of its charm. What do you think, Yabby? Oh, I want to marry Tammy. How do I get out of this? Somebody said friendship with 80, and that's something we definitely don't have yet, so I'll just keep trying to raise it to that. Maybe it's a cutscene that happens later. But I'll just say, that's so romantic. Cal smiles, and his cheeks turn a little pink. Oh, Tammy's confidence. Do you really think so? Really? Oh man, I feel bad saying that because I'm going to take Tammy. He looks away from you and strokes his thumb idly over the face of the doll, where the stitching was done with a little more care. It almost looks like Tammy meant the doll to look like Cal. Well, if you squint. Thanks, Yabby, Cal says quietly. That means a lot. I hope she feels the same way. I hope she doesn't, because I want her. I want to date her, Cal, I'm sorry. Only this run, I promise. You and Cal spend the rest of the afternoon basking in the warm sunshine and chatting about growing up on the stratospheric. He gets a little quiet whenever Tammy comes up again, but otherwise it's a perfectly happy day. I really hope I didn't just screw everything up. Ooh. Hello, Yabby. Tammy bounds over to you. I have a present for you. She presents you with a gift. It's wrapped in homemade wrapping paper, scribbled with hearts and flowers. Open it, she says, bouncing on her toes. You open the gift and pull out a handmade doll. Its lumpy, misshapen face gazes up at you from a patchy nest of yarn hair. It's a doll! Her name is Dolly, Tammy says proudly. I'm making them for all the kids I babysit. You told me once that your favorite toys are dolls, so I thought you might like one. Give it a hug when you're feeling scared. Oh, she does remember! Oh, that's so sweet. I will graciously accept this gift. You thank Tammy for her gift, and she clasps her hand in front of her heart. I'm glad you like it, Yabby. I worked really hard on it. Oh, it's so sweet. Tammy's so sweet. How is she so sweet? I feel so bad for letting her die in the last run. Never again. Never again. I'm buying this. I need persuasion. I probably don't, unless I want to become governor this run, but I may save it for a later run, unless you guys want to see it. I don't even know what we need to become governor, because I've never done it before. I don't want to do it in Mars's run, just because... From what I understand, that kind of, doesn't lead to a satisfactory ending for her, because she's always competing with you? I don't know. Alright, so I did get my little, buddy again, our Hopeye, and I'm gonna name them based on, baked foods, for Tammy. So this one we're going to name Cookies. If we get any other pets, we'll also name them the same way. All work and play has stopped in the creche for the day in favor of watching the construction crew working on expanding the living quarters into actual separate housing units. The children are enthralled by the scaffolding and the pulleys that bring the mushwood planks up to the top of the construction site. You don't notice Nougat has slipped away to chase a dwarf's moth until you see her, several stories up, clinging to the rickety scaffolding and crying for help. "Nougat, stay there!" Tammy cries out to her. Two toddlers are clutching her skirt and she looks to you for help. Okay, let's see, we have call an adult, climb up there quick, think of a creative solution, or convince Nougat to climb down. I'll do convince Nougat. You call out to Nougat, encouraging her to stretch her chubby legs out until it reaches the next rung of the scaffolding. Emboldened that it's possible, Nougat scampers down the rest of the scaffold with her typical courage and lack of concern for mortal concerns, like getting hurt. Tammy seems relieved. She gives Nougat a big hug, admonishing her to not go wandering in an active construction site again. Nougat shows you the little flying moth dragon dwarf's moth cupped in her hands. She seems to have totally forgotten the trouble she was in a minute ago. Oh, Nougat, you little scamp. She's such a little adventurous stinker. I love that we get to see more of her, because you only see her a few times in, like, other runs. Like, if you do, like, sports ball, she shows up. But I didn't realize you could get to see her so much if you do the creche. You're feeling run down and exhausted this month. You find yourself barely getting through your day and often just give in and let the toddlers crawl all over you, using you as a climbing gym, a painting canvas, a chew toy, whatever gets you through the month. Babysitting is hard work. Ooh, perform a random act of kindness again. "I want to do something nice for Mars," Tammy says, fiddling with the hem of her dress, "but I don't know what. She just nanoprints whatever she needs." She snaps her fingers. "I know! Why don't we ask Antecedent to help us put up a spa day for her?" Antecedent has a whole cabinet of nice-smelling lotions, soap, and scented candles. She lets you choose a few of each and reserves one of the private lounge anterooms for you. Sure, Mars can buy her own lotions, but what she can't buy is the loving servitude of her friends. You would help Tammy primp and pamper Mars. She's surprised and a little humbled by the attention and gives you both a genuine hug and thanks. Tammy has good instincts. She always knows what people secretly need, and Mars needed to have something nice given to her instead of having to demand it. Well, maybe because demanding things doesn't often get you what you want, Mars? You find Tammy in the common quarters. She's heavily absorbed in cleaning, balancing on a chair to dust high up on the walls. You've always wondered who did all the really thankless cleaning around the colony, and apparently the answer is Tammy. Tammy looks down at you as you approach and gestures to turn off her hairspeak. "Oh, hello, Yabby," she says, pushing her bangs off her face with a sweaty, harried smile. She's clearly been at this a while. "I was just getting some cleaning done. Nothing like a shiny clean room to take your mind off things, right?" She grimaces, then seems to remember herself and covers it up with a giggle. It feels forced. "Is something wrong, Tammy?" "What? No, oh, no, of course not," Tammy assures you. She hops down off the chair and gives you a brief little squeeze. "Gosh, that's so nice of you to ask." You fix Tammy with a look, and her smile falters. "I mean, it's nothing," she says. I overheard something I probably shouldn't have." She says, looking down at the ground. "When I was getting something from the pantry, I overheard some of the adults in the kitchen talking about how the trippet stalks from the last harvest all had some, weird mold on them, and they had to throw out almost all of them." She tugs on her ear, miserable. "If we ever run out of food, well..." Tammy clenches her fists in her skirt. I wish I didn't have to hear about all the bad things. Why can't things just be good and nice and not so scary all the time?" "The grown-ups have things under control." Tammy nods, resolute. "Yes, there's nothing I can do about it anyway. I'm not as smart as Tangent or as strong as Anemone, but that's okay because I'm really good at cooking and cleaning and taking care of the babies and doing all the other things a colony needs to keep running. I just want things to be nice and normal," Tammy blurts out. "I wish people knew that I can hear them when they talk about scary things." Tammy sniffles and gives you a brave smile. "Thanks for listening, Yabby. I'm gonna go back to cleaning now, okay?" You leave Tammy in the common area, continuing to avoid thinking about her fears through stress cleaning. Oh, poor sweetheart. So that must be her enhancement, is her ears. She can hear a lot better than us. That sucks. Imagine hearing all of the things you don't want to hear. I mean, that doesn't make them any less true, but, she's just a kid. And I know she acts like a parent, but she's still just a kid. She shouldn't have to hear all of that. Join Cal and Tammy. Cal is braiding Tammy's long hair and weaving in strands of little colored baubles. "This one's called a waterfall braid, I think," he says. "I saw it in an archive vid, but it's really tricky." He's doing a terrible job of it, his short, clumsy fingers getting all tangled in the strands. "Ooh, I could do better, let me try." "Oh!" "Sure," says Cal. "Oh no! No, I didn't want that! I didn't want to ruin it. Hang on." I'm backtracking a lot, but I want this to go good. What if I do Cal's hair? You sit behind him as he sits behind her, like a mini conga line. You braid some short strands of Cal's hair, putting one of his little baubles at the end of each one. He finishes Tammy's hair. It's almost recognizable as a waterfall braid, then touches his own braids and giggles. "Now we'll do yours!" they shout in unison. You jokingly try to escape, but Cal sits on your legs while Tammy gives you a beautiful braid. There we go, that's better. I just don't want to get rid of Tammy's confidence. She deserves to be confident. She's amazing. I don't want her to be... I hate all the things she says about herself, saying that she's not as smart or as strong as someone. She is very, amazing in her own way, and I hate that she always immediately thinks about what she's not good at. Yes! I can get Wiggles! We've got to keep the name Wiggles. That's too good. I know I said I wanted to name all my pets after, different things, but Wiggles is just too good to switch. Yes! Wiggles! Wiggles it is! Alright, well we have reached the end of another year. We got our 2 pets back, and I'm hopefully going to try and get the other ones too. Depends on how much we can do while we're trying to befriend Cal at the same time. But either way, I'm still excited. You always gotta get your pets. I love my pets and I do not want to be apart from them. And we also helped Tammy with her confidence, even if that required a little time traveling. Next time we'll continue with babysitting. I'm hoping to open up cooking soon. I think that would be interesting. And we'll hopefully raise our friendship with Cal even more. We gotta make sure that we can date her. We need that 80. We're at 44, so we're not doing too shabby, if I do say so myself. But we will continue on with it next time. Until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself, braid your hair with friends, and have a good day.